Today I'll be going over a very interesting and fun game played by Sergey Karjakin in white pieces against Fabiano in black pieces, and it's a very interesting game. The main purpose of showing this game is the end game. It's absolutely killing. It's very impressive how Fabiano misses the chance to control the game, and it shows how powerful checking the king is in Endgame. So we'll get to that after a very strong beginning for Sergey. You can see e4, not my favorite move. The London is much more promising for me, but a great defense with the Sicilian, and a very common move, this knight pushing and controlling the center pieces, not letting Fabiano get any room to control. The game progresses fairly obviously, not very intuitive moves for both players. You can see that here, after this diagonal control, Fabiano decides to do a very strong move with moving to f6, now forcing in some way or another to protect the pawn. But the problem with that is you're helping white develop. It's strong to have two of these pieces out, in my opinion. It just allows, number one, for the diagonal to get opened, and number two, it enhances the ability to control the center. So always try to push, if safe obviously, the middle pawns. And so both players castle relatively early in the game. You can see already, and it'll become a lot more clear very soon, that Sergey has a very good pawn structure, a very strong pawn structure actually, having this three pawn line, and soon, very soon, the fourth one joins, but a very strong pawn structure. And as I said, the fourth one is soon to come. Here happens the first trade, though, before the fourth pawn to join. The first trade of bishops, and it's quite interesting. You see that the reason that Sergey decides to push his queen here is to kick this this knight out. They don't want any potential movements from the knight, because it could be very dangerous and lead to a very quick checkmate. So you want to be able to control the squares next to your king. Here, bringing the knight back out for a similar idea, like I said, trying to control this area. And so the only real smart move is moving to g2. Like I said, the main idea is this king on the g1 square. Black and white are trying to reach it, and white's doing a pretty good job of protecting it. You could have also moved this way, but it's much better to hold this and kick the queen out a couple of times. First with the queen, then with this pawn, and now with this bishop moving the queen another position and freeing up these spots for white to take advantage of. Like I said, very impressive pawn structure. Even this pawn you can consider joined. Very impressive. Just really controlling this half of the board. Now, very soon, you're gonna see what I personally consider a small blunder. First of all, offering a trade. Sergey wants to simplify things, and a trade is the best way to do that. But it does not get accepted, and instead gets blocked by this bishop. Now, something that I consider a mistake is moving this queen out. I think that you want to control the region next to your king, especially when you have two powerful pieces next to it and a few more that can join, especially if you move this bishop that way. or this rook that way. It's important to maintain control, and you can see the importance of that very shortly. Um, you can see. So for right now, white hasn't lost anything, but now a check forcing the king out to the bottom line. And even though you might say, well, this is great, queen is freeing up this for the white pawn to become a queen. You can see it's really not that good, because with the queen gone, it allows for black to put a lot of pressure on the king. And one of the best tactics, if you don't know how to defend something that's gonna happen pretty regardless of what you can do, if you have no way to defend it, then you might as well start doing some checks on the king and just making the king have to move. And you see this happens, and here from now series starts of just continuous checks, starting with that. And first a trade of rooks, and I want to point that out, that instead of taking this rook with the bishop, it's much better to take this rook with the queen, for a few reasons. Number one, this rook is protecting the king a lot more than this rook. This rook, the two pawns that it's slightly, I guess, attacking, both are protected by other pieces, so this rook isn't doing too much, and now they're going to have to waste a move of moving the rook back down. You can see here forcing the trade. Now Fabiano thinks that he's winning, and then wanting to trade and simplify the board a little bit. The reason that this is forcing is the only squares that the king can move are here or here, and regardless of where they move, you move your queen here for checkmate. I mean, after this rook here, but it's absolutely devastating. You can start bringing in your other rook, and I mean you're now forcing the you're forcing quite a bad position. So you have to take, and now I slightly misjudged when it starts, but now I believe the checks begin. So you can see that it's insanely important for black to force every move that happens from now on. Otherwise, with one mishap, a queen arises. So you're gonna have to check and check and check and check, and again the importance of checking a king when you have nothing to do, because these two pieces are very powerful and can lead to a checkmate very unknowingly. So you have to be protective of them. Here was the mistake. Instead of continuing with the ideas of check, or at least trying to disturb the king, Sergey makes a very kind of bold statement and moves this queen to a5 in hopes of moving it down to b4 and causing checkmate in 2. Obviously, king moves, and that's checkmate. So the problem with this move is that white has a great move. This move, it seems great, obviously, or forcing to protect this, and obviously not allowing this queen also, so it protects and it attacks. But beautiful move. Now taking the pawn and taking the king, and in this point, even though Sergey is up a pawn, he decides to resign because there's absolutely nothing he can do. I can show you with really anything that happens. I mean, you can start forcing the moves, and it's not fun for black. So the game resigns or ends here, and there's no real good variation for the Black King, and then very soon you have checkmate. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed, learned something, and make sure you guys click the thumbs up button and subscribe if you enjoyed. And also, I love posting these videos, but I need some more content, some more games to analyze. So leave them in the comments, and I will pick one person who comments to shout out in my next game analysis. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.